Now at 6, we have winter weather advisories in effect for areas along and north of I-44. I'm going to break this down for you.
Plus, some tips for safely driving when the roads get icy. And an area roller skating rink hosts New Year's Eve party for some families.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Most of the 4-state area is under a winter weather advisory. This is KOAM News at 6. We're going to go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy with the latest.
Yeah, this advisory includes all of southeastern Kansas, southwestern parts of Missouri, along and north of Interstate 44. I do think we'll get a little bit of ice south of I-44, but not enough to warrant a winter weather advisory as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Already showers, even some thunderstorms developing off to our south, but all this moisture is going to stream toward us as we go through the evening hours. So it is going to start to get a little bit wet, especially if you are heading out throughout the evening hours. We are going to have just rain. We don't have to worry about any wintry weather over the next, let's say, 8 hours or so. As we go through time, you can see these bands of showers picking up. Here's 10 p.m. Let's go to about the midnight hour. Still scattered showers, especially in our southern counties. And then it really starts to pick up late tonight into the early morning hours. Rain increases, and then we'll start to get some freezing rain, which will increase across the region. So a lot to talk about. We'll break this all down for you, all coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. With the icy conditions tomorrow, officials say it's better just to stay off the roads if you can. But if you need to travel, there's some safety tips to keep in mind. Now, MoDOT says to remember that bridges and overpasses, they're going to freeze first. And also that seemingly safe roads could still be dangerous.
Obviously, the best thing to do is not be out in it when the weather does come. And we're pretty good with the forecast anymore, and they're pretty confident this one is going to hit us. So the best plans are to find where you want to be and stay put and wait for the road conditions to clear up.
Now, also, before your trip, you should check road conditions on your state's Department of Transportation website. The city of Joplin is reminding people to have an emergency kit ready as the freezing weather moves in. Now, officials say that emergency kit should include plenty of water, at least a gallon per person per day for up to 3 days. And of course, 3 days worth of canned or dried food per person. It should also include a battery-powered radio, flashlight, first aid kit, and copies of important records. Well, some area families are getting some fun in before the new year and winter storms. Roller City in Joplin hosted a New Year's party, and we sent photojournalist Derek Kinetic to check it out.
So today we're having a New Year's Eve event. This is for kids 12 and under right now. Later on we'll have for all ages, kind of a later night one. The kiddos get, a horn, hats, they get pizza and soda, they get to play everything they want, laser tag, skating, they get to play games, We'll do different prizes. I think there's like $1,000 in cash and prizes that'll be given out. So just kind of giving a fun day for the kids to come and hang out for New Year's. So I like the balloon drop the most because we get all the kids in the middle of the floor and we do a big countdown all together, and then the balloons drop and everyone's just really excited and they're blowing the horns and just having fun and stuff. But it's just a fun atmosphere really all around together, yeah.
Roller City is located at 2800 East 24th Street in Joplin. And another New Year's event today, a barrel bash at the Lucky J Steakhouse and Arena in Carthage, Missouri. You still have some time to check it out today. It runs until 10. People are able to get a meal from the steakhouse, and then you get to watch some horse barrel racing.
You're going to hear when this thing starts, everybody's competing against each other, but their main deal is they're competing against the time. So you're going to hear everybody cheering for everybody. Everybody pushing their competitors to go just a little bit harder and a little bit faster.
If you don't make it out tonight, the Barrel Bash will continue through the weekend. Coming up, a man in Kansas receives a surgery never performed in the state, replacing his pelvis with a 3D printed version. Plus, a dinosaur is stolen from a Tulsa business, and it's all caught on camera. A Kansas man's cancer diagnosis almost cost him a leg until doctors suggested a first-of-its-kind surgery in the state of Kansas, a new 3D printed titanium pelvis. Reporter Joe Chiodo has the story.
Absolutely. It can be hard to beat a view like this.
In Lone Jack, Missouri, Kurt Meelan is adjusting to a new way of life.
We moved out here, I think, around October of last year.
Built a chicken house, and there's nothing he can't do or he won't try to do.
He and his wife Alicia's new 5 acres of land take a lot of work and a lot of patience. Much like another adjustment that Kurt's taking in stride, step by step.
So really, it's almost a new lease on life. It's a very rare cancer. I think they said happens in less than 4% of people that have cancer.
A soccer coach for 10 years in Blue Valley, Kurt became concerned a few years ago when pain would flare up on the field doing drills and running. He learned he had chondrosarcoma of his pelvis and hip.
So the option was they take off your leg or they take off your leg. So either option wasn't acceptable to me. The response to that was, there's got to be something else.
A father of 5 and an active guy, Kurt refused to lose a limb. That had his doctor at the University of Kansas Health, Dr. Kyle Sweeney, searching high and low for another option to save Kurt's leg and life.
It's actually a 3D model.
He found that solution in a 3D printer. Dr. Sweeney would implant a titanium 3D printed partial pelvis into Kurt by melding a CT scan and an MRI together using precise imaging. But such a surgery had never been done before in the state of Kansas.
I immediately jumped on it and I said, well, you know, I'll if it's the first one that KU ever did, I'll be your guy.
It sounded crazy, but yeah, it was neat to watch.
A big risk that came with a big reward. Kurt is officially the first patient in Kansas to receive a 3D printed pelvis. He can now walk using a crutch.
That is a fantastic feeling. It's absolutely incredible what you can do with it, because if you can imagine it, you can 3D print it. And if you can image it, you can recreate anatomy that's specific to an individual.
Such advancements will only become more common in the future.
There are options now through technology,
giving people like Kurt a second shot at life.
It was the best case scenario, better than expected. Very, very, very grateful for that.
A little later, the story behind this video of a man stealing a dinosaur statue in Tulsa.
Plus, we're going to get some wintry weather rolling in for us tomorrow. I'll give you those details coming up. Well, it's turned out to be a nice day for us today. High temps into the mid-60s, quite a bit warmer than what we have had over the past couple days. But usually when you warm up this much in the winter months, you got to go back down. We have an Arctic front right on our doorstep that is going to start to push through as we go into the overnight hours for us tonight, and then kind of stall just in our southern counties. But winter weather advisory, southwest Missouri, southeastern Kansas, along and north of Interstate 44, not south of Interstate 44. So Oklahoma, extreme southwestern Missouri and Arkansas are excluded from that winter weather advisory. Look at the showers starting to pick up, mainly northeastern Oklahoma and then back into extreme southwestern parts of Missouri. But you can see the rain a little bit heavier once you go down Interstate 44 toward Tulsa or Oklahoma City. But all this moisture is heading toward us and will continue to increase as we go through the overnight hours. You can see Oklahoma, then all the way back through parts of Texas, and then we have snow which is building out across the Rockies. So all this entire wave is starting to come together. The main wave is right there across central parts of Arizona, which is going to head toward us later on tonight. Temperature is still warm. Most of us are sitting into lower 60s right now, and we're going to stay mild at least over the next few hours. But look at this. Here's our Arctic front. South of Kansas City now, right into our northwestern counties, and temperatures rapidly drop behind it. Down into the teens and even below zero in Rapid City. So all that cold air is going to start to sink off toward the south. All right, scattered showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder as we go through the evening hours. So here's 11:30 p.m. If you are heading out, some of the roads are going to be wet, but we don't have to worry about any wintry weather for tonight. So that's good news. As we go into the overnight hours, the rain really picks up. Here's 2 a.m. Let's go to the morning hours. Look at this. The rain increases. It gets heavy. Here's 4:30 in the morning. And then as we go to about 7 a.m., look at our temps. We're down into the upper 20s, to 30s for the metro, still into the 50s in northwestern Arkansas. But this pink, that is our freezing rain. So by 7 a.m., freezing rain advancing into our northwestern counties and then sinking off toward the south. So by 9:30, Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, Independence, Parsons, Fort Scott, even Nevada will all have freezing rain and sleet. Everybody else just rain. As we continue through the morning hours, here's about the noon hour. You can see the metro's into the upper 20s now, so that freezing rain line is all the way down to the I-44 corridor. Then we start switching to snow in our far northwestern counties. So it's rain, it's freezing rain, it's sleet, then it goes to snow. As we continue into the afternoon, the heaviest of the moisture is out of here. We kind of go to light freezing drizzle, kind of spitting a little light sleet, a little bit of light snow into the evening hours, and then we'll get a little round of light snow, and most of this should be out of here by midnight tomorrow night. And our temperatures really tumble as well, so that's something we'll have to keep our eyes on. All right, rainfall out of this whole system, or freezing rain, sleet, moisture-wise, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch in our southern counties. As we go into wintry weather, I think our northern counties are mainly sleet, upwards of 1 inch, maybe 2 inches of sleet and snow. Most of us, though, a glaze of ice, upwards to 1/10 of an inch of ice, and then a dusting of snow on top of it. I don't think we're going to have any issues on trees or power lines, so that is good, but some of the roads are going to be slippery, especially as our temperatures drop back into the 20s very quickly. Any water on the roadways will immediately freeze, so that's another concern that we do have. So some slippery roads, especially tomorrow afternoon. We'll make it an alert day, sitting into the 20s down to 10. Tomorrow night, only 25 on Sunday. And then Arctic air returns next Wednesday and Thursday with a pretty good chance for some light snow.
Boy, winter's finally settling in across the area.
It's trying.
Doug, thank you. Well, bizarre theft of a dinosaur statue in Tulsa is caught on camera and confusing. Reporter Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Authorities in Tulsa, Oklahoma want folks to be on the lookout for a dinosaur that was taken during a brazen overnight theft caught on camera. The dino dummy was taken by some Jurassic jerk from the front of Decapolis, a quirky Route 66 museum, gift shop, and self-described discovatorium. Surveillance video shows the masked person using tools to remove the Deinonychus statue from its pedestal, then walking off with it. Even a dog seen with the suspect seems perplexed by the bizarre heist. The store shared video of the incident and is asking for help not just from local authorities, but from the public as well, because Jurassic times call for Jurassic measures. In other Tulsa news, a litter of puppies found abandoned at a gas station have been adopted by the very police officers who rescued them. The officers responded to a report of a duffel bag stuffed with 5 puppies left on a counter at a QT gas station on Christmas night. 4 of the pups are now unofficial police dogs, as the responding officers decided to adopt them right on the spot. But what about the 5th puppy, you say? Not to worry, it was adopted by the QT employee on duty. Finally, state police in Oregon are using a dash cam video to remind drivers to be careful on the icy roads. The video shows a trooper finishing up with one slide-off incident when another happens in the very same spot. No one was injured, but the video was posted online with a warning: seemingly clear roads can still be dangerously slick. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Those are roads we're going to have to watch this weekend. Still ahead, the Kansas City Chiefs are looking for their 9th straight win against the Bengals on Sunday. And then the Osho boys win the Holiday Classic Black Bracket. We'll hear from head coach Zane Culp next.
Cincinnati makes its first college football playoff appearance today. The 4th-ranked Bearcats are also the first non-Power 5 school to compete in the CFP. Cincinnati 3.5-point underdog to the defending champs. Alabama dominates today 27-6. Brian Robinson Jr. 200-yard day. Bryce Young throws for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns. In the other semifinal, number 2 Michigan faces number 3 Georgia. The winner will play Alabama now. The Bulldogs are 7.5-point favorites. This one kicks off shortly. We'll have more from both the games right here at 10. The Chiefs are coming off a dominant win over the Steelers where they clinched the AFC West, their 6th straight division title. This week, the Chiefs travel to Cincinnati to continue their hunt for the #1 playoff seed. As always, now we'll hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on this week's Minute with Mitch.
This week, the Chiefs are going to Cincinnati, where they love Cincinnati chili, also known as Skyline chili. In Cincy, they swear by this stuff, but give me some old-fashioned Chiefs Kingdom chili any day. That being said, it's not only Chiefs chili, it's George Orwell this week. Now, Orwell was the controversial novelist, best known for his work entitled 1984. Little did Orwell know he was dealing with the Bengals-Chiefs series in Cincinnati. The Chiefs have struggled in Cincinnati, to say the least. They lost 2 undefeated seasons there, 1969 and 2003, by identical 24-19 scores. Add losses in 2015, 2009, and 2008. So wait for it, the last time the Chiefs have won in Cincinnati? 1984. On this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
Sunday's game against the Bengals kicks off at noon right here on KOAM. Kansas City is 4.5-point favorites. The Neosho Wildcats took home the Black Bracket Championship at the Neosho Holiday Classic on Thursday night. Caden Waters had a monster game, 38 points and 12 rebounds. Not surprisingly, he was named the tournament MVP. He helped lift Neosho to a comeback win over McDonald County 70-63 to claim the tournament title.
We were down, 10 tonight. I'm not sure what we were down 9 last night. So our kids, there were a bunch of juniors besides Caden, and it's just taken them a while, I think, to figure it out. But they figured out they can just come back and win no matter what. So it was very exciting.
The Missouri Tigers opened their SEC schedule on Thursday with only 8 players available due to COVID-19 protocol. Leading scorer and rebounder Asia Blackwell was among those out of the game. The Tigers facing the #1 team in the country, South Carolina. Haley Frank, huge first half, knocks down the triple, 21 points for Frank. LaDeja Williams gets the bucket and 1. Mizzou leads 32-26 at the break. Jump to the 4th, Lauren Hansen hits the corner 3. Mizzou up by 6. Final 30 seconds, Aaliyah Boston lays it in, ties it up at 64. To overtime they go. Mizzou down by 1, less than 10 seconds left now. Hansen puts it in here. That will do it. Missouri stuns South Carolina, taking down the #1 team 70-69.
I think what I'm most proud of this team is we came in and we had belief in the 8 that we had available, and we didn't stop believing for 45 minutes. And that's why we got the result we did. But for me, this is the kind of games that I came to Mizzou for.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after the break.
We take time now to honor a local member of the armed forces. Bradley Boomza joined the U.S. Army in 2005. The Bella Vista, Arkansas native has been stationed in Iraq. We salute Specialist Bradley Boomza, a 4-state hero. Tonight on the KOAM News at 10, we're going to take a look back at some of the people we lost in the past year. An American patriot, a royal prince, and today, a Hollywood legend are among the notable people lost in 2021. We'll have that tonight at 10. Something else that we're watching very closely is the weather, Doug.
Yeah, showers, even a few thunderstorms are going to be picking up as we go through the overnight hours tonight. And then rain switching over to some freezing rain, sleet, and a little bit of light snow as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. Our temperatures are going to be dropping into the 20s down to 10 tomorrow night, high of only 25 on Sunday. So a very cold weekend.
Doug, thank you. Danny, a lot of hoops going on.
Yeah, lots of basketball. What a win for the Mizzou women. Such a cool story. Only 8 players available. They take down #1 ranked South Carolina.
Yeah, not bad at all. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you back here at 10, and thanks for making us part of your night.